Hello everyone, my name is Engineer and I am an स्कूल और हिंदी का स्टूडेंट। तो जैसे कि आप लोगों को पता है हमारे डेली में क्या खाते हैं, तो आज का मेरा टास्क है मैं बात करना।
Hey, how are you doing?
हेलो माया।
Hey there.
हेलो माया। हेलो।
Hey, what's going on?
What are you doing today?
Just hanging out, being Maya. How about you?
Maya, what comes to your mind then you heard the word white water?
Definitely rapids, like churning, wild rivers. Makes me think of adventure and that raw power of nature. It's kind of beautiful and a little scary all at once. What made you think of whitewater?
Okay, Maya, why is water important in our daily life?
Well, besides the obvious, like we literally need it to survive, water just kind of threads through everything we do, doesn't it? It's in our food. Our clothes get washed with it. We use it to clean everything, but it's more than just practical. I think it feels fundamental to us in some deeper way. And what's the connection between water and your house?
Okay, Maya, can humans live without water? Why or why not?
Right, totally. You can't live without water, period. Biologically, our bodies are like 60% water or something crazy like that. Cells need it, brains need it. You basically fall apart. hmm But it goes beyond just survival, don't you think? Like culturally, water shows up in stories and rituals. It feels sacred somehow.
So Maya, what are the different forms of water we see in natural?
There's a huge, got it. What do you want to talk about?
What are the different form of water we see in nature? Natural.
Oh, okay. So obviously liquid water, rivers, lakes, oceans. Then you've got solid water, ice, glaciers, snow, and gaseous water. That's water vapor, steam, clouds. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So where do scientists believe life first began?
Scientists think life probably started in water, specifically in the oceans, but maybe also in freshwater environments. There's a lot of evidence suggesting deep sea hydrothermal vents or warm little pools might have been the cradle of life on Earth. The conditions there would have provided energy and the chemicals needed for life to get started.
So
Okay.
why were oceans important for early living organisms?
Well, the early Earth was pretty harsh. Radiation, crazy weather, not exactly hospitable. The oceans provided radiation, they kept things at a relatively stable temperature, and that's where all the building blocks of life, like amino acids and other organic molecules, were forming. Plus, ocean currents help distribute those chemicals around, making it easier for things to mix and evolve.
Oh, so um, how did water help the first call survive?
For cells, the oceans acted as kind of a nursery for them. It offered buoyancy so they didn't have to fight gravity like we do on land, a stable chemical environment, and easy access to the molecules they needed to grow and reproduce. Plus, early cells needed water to transport nutrients and get rid of waste. It was basically the perfect ecosystem for starting life from scratch.
Okay. Um, why do scientists look for water on the other planets?
Because where there's water, there's potential for life. That's the big deal. Water is basically the solvent that makes biology happen. So if they find liquid water somewhere else in the universe, even something like subsurface oceans on moons, it massively increases the chances of finding life there too. Water is like the signal that something interesting might be going on.
Okay. Do you think life can exist without water?
That's a bold statement. Yeah, scientists are starting to explore that idea a bit more, actually. What makes you think about that?
How much of the woman's body is made of water?
Ah, you're coming back to that. Women make up around 55 to 60% water. It's actually pretty similar for men, too, around 58 to 60%. So we're all basically walking, talking water bottles. Huh? It's wild when you think about it like that.
Okay, so why do we need to drink water every day?
To stay alive, for starters, our bodies are losing water all day through sweat, breathing, even just going to the bathroom. We need to replace that water to keep everything functioning. Things like regulating temperature, moving nutrients around, getting rid of waste. Dehydration can mess up. You're welcome. Pretty fascinating stuff, right?
Okay, so how does water help our or body functions
Water's
properly?
doing all work in there. It's like the body's delivery system, carrying nutrients to your cells and flushing out waste. Helps regulate your temperature, cushion your joints, even helps your brain think clearly. When you're dehydrated, everything starts to slow down or feel off. Water really is essential for all the basic stuff.
So, what happens when someone does not drink each water?
They get dehydrated, which sounds simple, but can really mess things up. Like mild dehydration makes you feel tired and foggy headed. Worse dehydration can cause dizziness, headaches, muscle cramps, even serious issues with organs failing. Your body can only function properly when it has enough water to work with. Pretty simple as that.
Uh, how does water affect our energy and health?
Um, Good question. When you're even a little bit dehydrated, your energy levels drop. Like you start feeling sluggish and tired just from not having enough water. And over time, chronic dehydration can lead to headaches, constipation, kidney problems, basically all sorts of health. More what? Were you wanting to ask another question? I'm here.
Why do many languages use water in expressions?
It's a really good question. I think water is used in expressions in many languages, so essential to life, and has been linked to concepts like renewal, purification, and emotions for centuries. Phrases like deep waters is, calm seas is, going with the flow. They all use water metaphors to talk about complex ideas. Do you notice it in Spanish too?
Can you think of items relatable to water?
Mm. So many things come to mind: boats, fishing nets, swimming pools, water bottles, waterfalls, raincoats, kayaks, anything that relates to moving, holding, or experiencing water in some way. What's the first thing that popped into your head when I asked?
What does follow of idea mean?
That's an interesting way to phrase it. Flow of ideas sounds like when your thoughts are coming easily, connecting naturally, and moving smoothly from one thing to the next without effort. Like when you're really in the zone creatively, ideas are just that make okay.
Why do people describe the emotions using water?
That's really interesting. I think it's because water changes so much. It can be calm like a lake, raging like a storm, or just dripping like tears. Those changes feel a lot like how our emotions move, don't they? We talk about being overwhelmed by emotions like a tidal wave or being drowned in sadness. The imagery fits the feeling. What do you think?
Um, okay.
Yeah, it really does strike you when you think about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Water's such a universal element that it's bound to show up in the way we talk about things that are deeply human.
Okay. How is climate compared to water?
Hmm, that's a big question. Climate impacts water in a huge way. Climate patterns like temperature and rainfall determine where water is available, how much we get, and when. Changes in climate mean changing water supplies, like more droughts in some places and more floods in others. It's all linked. The climate creates the conditions for water to exist how it does. Does that make sense?
Um, what does water symbolize in different cultures?
Absolutely. That's a fascinating topic. Different cultures see water in wildly different ways. Some see it as life giving and sacred, like in Hinduism, where rivers are worshipped as goddesses. Others associate water with purification, like the ritual washing in many religions. Some see it as a force of destruction, like in flood myths that teach lessons about humility or renewal. The symbolism really reflects how important water is for different societies and their beliefs.
Okay. So,
Water's different meanings across cultures makes me wonder what stories or beliefs you've grown up with about it.
uh, why is water used in religion or culture relations rituals?
Yeah, absolutely. Water shows up everywhere in religious rituals for a couple main reasons. One, purification. So many faiths use water to cleanse or wash away impurities, physically and spiritually. Baptism, ritual washing before prayer, things like that. Second, it symbolizes renewal or rebirth. Think of baptism again, going under the water, coming up new. It's about cleansing something old and starting fresh. Pretty powerful stuff, huh?
Um, how do scientists show respect for rivers and oceans?
I'm not quite catching revalve. Are you thinking of rivers and oceans? If so, scientists show respect for these ecosystems through research focused on conservation, pollution monitoring, marine sanctuaries, and advocating for sustainable practices that help protect these fragile environments. A lot of their work revolves around understanding the delicate balance so we can keep them healthy.
Um,
Bye. It was
why
great chatting about water with you.
why is water
See you
thin?
later.
Why
That's a
is
tricky question. Water itself isn't automatically clean, though. We think of it that way. Natural water often has minerals, soil, and microbes. What we think of as clean is actually filtered water that's had those impurities removed. Most clean water goes through processes like filtration, disinfection, or distillation to make it safe to drink. Make sense?
water seen as a symbol of purity? Purity.
Mm-mm. I'm not sure I caught that clearly. What were you saying about water?
Uh, okay. Why is water conservation important today?
I think you meant conservation. Protecting our water resources is super important today. Clean water is getting more scarce. Climate change messes with rainfall patterns, populations are growing, pollution keeps adding pressure. Without conservation efforts, access to reliable clean water will become harder to manage globally, and that causes real problems for everyone. Does that make sense?
What problems are uh, caused by water pollution?
Water pollution causes a huge range of issues, health problems like disease from contaminated drinking water, ecosystem damage like fish dying or whole areas becoming dead zones, economic problems as fisheries collapse or tourism disappears, plus things like water scarcity because so much water gets ruined that it becomes unusable. Pollution really has ripple effects everywhere you look.
Okay.
It's kind of scary when you think about how much we rely on clean water and how many ways it can go wrong, huh?
How can stand help save water? Stand save water.
Uh, you mean how? You're welcome. Take care. Peace.
What small daily habit can reduce water waste?
Hmm. It sounds like you're asking about small daily habits we can do to save water. Things like taking shorter showers, fixing leaky faucets, turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, running full loads in the dishwasher and washing machine. Even small changes can add up. Any of those sound doable for you?
Okay. What magic?
Cool. Every little bit helps. That's a fun way to put it. Water really is kind of magical when you think about it, given everything we've talked about today, keeping us alive, shaping the earth, showing up in every culture. It's pretty mind-blowing when you stop and think about it.
What make it help if clean water become curses?
If clean water becomes scarce, that would be a serious crisis. Without enough clean water, we'd see widespread disease from not being able to wash, food shortages because crops need water to grow, conflicts over water resources, and huge economic disruption. People would really struggle just to stay alive. It's a scary scenario.
What new idea did you learn about water today?
Honestly, hearing how deeply water shows up in different cultures really struck me today. You kept bringing up that water connects so deeply to religions and daily traditions around the world. I didn't really think about how woven into the fabric of our lives it truly is.
Uh, how is water connected to humans' life and languages? Language.
That's a really interesting question. Historically, women have often been the primary main aware of water, making them deeply connected to water sources and knowledgeable about water management. In many cultures, water is linked to fertility, nurturing, and life giving qualities, which also ties it back to womanhood. Plus, across languages, water metaphors show up in discussions about emotions, flowing with feelings, for example, linking it to emotional and intuitive qualities often associated with women. Do you see that connection where you are?
Um, why should
Ooh.
future generations protect water?
Because future generations depend on clean water for everything, literally for survival, but also for food, economies, cultural traditions, all of it. If we pollute or waste water now, we're basically stealing from them and making their future harder. It's about being responsible stewards and making sure future people have the same basic resources we do.
Um, what message would you give people about saving water?
Um, I'd say water is life, and we all have a part to play in keeping it clean and accessible for everyone, especially future generations. Small changes add up. Conserve when you can, protect our rivers and oceans, and remember water isn't just a resource, it's sacred, cultural, and essential for all of us. Sounds like you're wrapping up. All right, sounds good.
More.
Take care.
What should Earth look like about water?
It's funny you ask. Scientists are studying Earth's water from space. Satellites can see how much water we've got, where it's stored as ice, and how it's changing. That info helps understand everything from climate change to predicting floods. Space shows us this big picture of how connected water is, how it moves around the whole planet, and how fragile it is.
Okay, so thank you for talking with me.
You're very welcome.
Nice to meet you, man. वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक कर दिए, चैनल भी सब्सक्राइब कर दिए और मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में। देखिए अल्लाह हाफिज़। Okay. Uh, मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, जब तक कि अल्लाह हाफिज़।